Welcome. I'm your host, Kate Baldwin from REI Baddies. This episode is the first episode of Buy Real Estate with Your IRA. Whether you're a first-time investor or you've been doing deals for years, you should really at least understand how your retirement account can be used in real estate. Today, we're going to break down how to use your self-directed IRA retirement account to invest in real estate the right way, the legal way, and the way that doesn't end you up Googling IRS penalties at 2 a.m. We are going to keep this simple and practical. My guest, he is a self-directed IRA educator with Directed IRA. He is trained under the founders of Matt Swanson and Mark Kohler. He has helped hundreds of investors learn how to take control of their retirement through education and public speaking. And Daniel specializes in how to use your old 401ks, your IRAs, your HSAs, and other tax advantage accounts to buy alternative assets, especially in real estate and private lending. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about what we can do, what we can't do, and the most common mistakes to avoid with no fluff, no confusion, just real life rules with real life examples. So let's get started. Thank you, Danielle, for being here.
Yeah, thank you. That was this is going to be fun, and I expect you to ask questions just as if anybody else would.
Oh, I'm full of many things to ask, so I will definitely partake in this. So we're gonna go ahead and pull up the presentation. This is an 8-part series, so we're basically going to do today we're gonna present the entire presentation. So it's gonna be a little bit of time, and the next 7 series, like the next 7 episodes, are going to actually break it down. And so those are going to be shorter. So if you've never really heard about this and you really have been curious about this, or you've heard about it, but you have no idea where to get started, you want to watch this entire episode. Just take your time. If you got to do your dishes, throw it up on an iPad and clean the kitchen. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself. I introduced you, but do your thing.
Yeah. So as it was mentioned, I'm Daniel Turzi. I'm with Directed IRA, and I think I'm much past hundreds of investors now. I've given presentations in front of 100 people at least many times. So this is something that is actually passionate. I'm passionate about it as I do it now. And I'm actually really excited to help educate and teach people, especially in the real estate space. Yeah, that's me basically in a nutshell. Just a quick disclaimer, okay? I get the boring stuff out of the way first. No tax, legal, investment advice. It's not what you came here for. You don't want that from me, okay? I'll tell you all about IRAs. Yeah. And I'll help you out with real examples. And I'm going to break it down from the beginning, which is what the hell even is an IRA? What's going on with these things? And why am I just now learning to put real estate into it? So since the 70s, you've been able to invest your retirement accounts into pretty much anything. And wealthy people have been doing this since then. And when I say pretty much anything, there's just 2 things you can't put in there, okay? One is collectibles, okay? So you can finally get rid of your Pokemon cards, your Beanie Babies. You tell your kids your Labubus aren't going to be, tax-free later on in life, all right? And then life insurance contracts. For those of you that don't know, this gentleman tried to do a sweet little deal with his life insurance contracts, but he didn't do it in his IRA because it's illegal. Even more so than doing what he did. And those contracts cannot go in your IRA, all right? You're just setting yourself up for the next true crime documentary. Which I don't know. Maybe that's your goal.
Maybe that's your goal in life.
But what you can hold inside is so much bigger, okay? You can hold your stocks, your bonds, your mutual funds, your ETF. REITs are always my favorite one. Because you're going to go to your Fidelity or Schwab people and you're going to say, hey, I heard this really handsome, really funny guy talking about self-directed IRAs, and I can put real estate into it. And they're going to go, yeah, you can do that. We have REITs for you. That's not the same. You want physical, tangible rental properties,
Yep.
investment properties, fix and flips, undeveloped land, maybe. Okay. That's actually putting those assets into your IRA. Now, the one thing I do want to emphasize is that self-direction is just a marketing term, and I'll get that to it on
Yeah.
my next slide.
Good.
Fidelity and Schwab will say you can self-direct with them, and they're not wrong. Self-direction just means you pick your investment. Okay, so from this list, you could pick whatever the heck you want inside of an IRA with somebody like us. Okay, and we're going to primarily focus on real estate because that's the main focus of this podcast, right? But just know that there's so much more that you can do as well. I know cryptocurrency is big. People love precious metals. Some people are into private
I know.
businesses.
I think gold's really high right now, isn't it?
Yeah, silver isn't so much anymore, but gold is.
I know. I was talking
Silver.
to some friends about that the other day, and they were telling me it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, silver took a tumble. Silver took a big tumble, but gold is still doing great. But again, like any investment, you're going to have your ebbs and your flows and your ups and your downs, and you just have
Sure.
to
Oh
be,
gosh,
yeah,
absolutely.
which is what I like to really emphasize.
I know because
I really like to emphasize invest in what you know. That's it.
yes,
If you know gold,
do
if you know
it.
private businesses, if you know real estate, invest in it. My favorite question I like to ask when I'm doing these in public is how many of you guys are Warren Buffett or related to him in any way? And nobody raised their hands, but yet they trust their retirement account in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs.
Right.
Meanwhile, I'm in a real estate conference and not a single person in there has real estate inside of their retirement account. And it's just such a crazy thing to just blindly throw money at something and hope that it goes up. It usually
Well,
does, I'll be honest with you.
which is why we're doing this presentation, everybody out there. Listen.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, self-directed is it's just a marketing term. So you can go to Fidelity, Schwab, and say, I'd like to open up a self-directed IRA. And they're going to say, sure, great. You can
Okay.
self-direct into stocks, bonds, mutual funds. That's all they're going to allow you to do. Directed IRA allows you to invest in everything that the IRS tax code says is legal, which is everything but life insurance contracts and collectibles. Everything else is fair game. And as long as you have a custodian that will custody it, you can do it. So,
Interesting.
what kind of accounts are out there? Okay. I categorize them in three tiny little categories: personal, employer, and specialty. I'm going to touch on all of them because I'm not doing a presentation in front of a whole bunch of people, right? I want to make sure that anybody who's listening will understand that they fit what category. So starting with personal plans is the best one because everyone fits that category. Everyone can have a traditional and a Roth or a traditional or a Roth or one of each.
Right.
Okay. And there are pros and cons. Now I'm going to preface this. I'm going to give you pros and cons. You make your own decision on what you think is better. But then there's going to be one that I'm going to try and give pros to that I just can't do it. Only I think CPAs can do it. I just can't find it myself to do it. But we'll get into that in a second. So traditional IRAs.
Yes.
This is going to be great for real estate investors who are looking for money, okay, or who are just getting started with their IRAs, maybe leaving the big corporation, the big corporate job, right? You have that old 401k. Most people do pre-tax dollars into their retirement accounts. And what traditional actually means is pre-tax. Roth means post-tax. So in people's 401ks, they have pre-tax dollars most of the time. So when they roll their account over, it's going to go into a traditional IRA. Okay, this is going to be pre-tax into pre-tax. Now, if you put $5,000 into a traditional IRA, you get to write off that as a tax deduction. Okay. If that's why people are doing pre-tax dollars into their 401ks, because they're not paying taxes on it. It's just their
Right.
pre-tax dollars going right in. It's not hitting their W-2,
Right.
right? So with a traditional IRA, most people are going to roll over into it. So you have a stronger dollar. That's the benefit of a traditional IRA. You have more money going in technically. But when you come retirement age, you have to pay taxes on that. And that tax, for anybody who's wondering, is whatever your income limit is for that year. That's what you'll be paying taxes on. And when we're kids, we're all kind of brainwashed into, you have to do traditional IRAs, you have to do pre-tax dollars, you have to do all this. Because when you get older, you're going to make less money.
Right.
Well, I don't want to make less money when I get older. I want to make the same amount of money as I'm making right now so I can still maintain that lifestyle. So that would be my earned income for that year every year, if that's what I wanted to do. So that logic doesn't really make sense to me.
No, it
I
doesn't
don't
make sense at all.
know. So then we have the Roth IRA. Okay, this is post-tax dollars. For those of you that think I'm absolutely crazy and just want to keep contributing to your 401ks, but you like the idea of a Roth, you can actually do Roth contributions in your 401k. So you have to call up your employer and ask them to do that. Some people are already doing this. So when they leave their corporate job, they have Roth contributions in their 401k. So when they roll over, they go into a Roth IRA. Okay, now this is post-tax dollars, so they pay taxes on it. So technically, it's a weaker dollar.
Right.
Okay, so it's a little bit weaker. It went in with tax coming out. But if you put $5,000 into a Roth
Right.
and you put $5,000 into a traditional IRA and you grow both of those accounts to $1 million,
You pay the $1 million in your traditional, you pay taxes after you go to take it out. And then with the
Mhm.
Roth, you already paid it at 5,000.
And when you turn 59 and a half, what do you pay taxes on in the Roth?
Nothing.
Nothing. And in a traditional, you pay tax on that full million.
I know. So if you want to
So
pay your taxes before when it's 5,000, put it into a Roth, pay the $5,000. So then it can grow and you don't have to pay
how
taxes when
about
you take it
tax
out.
free? Exactly. So the winner there is you, not the IRS, right? You're not paying taxes on $995,000 that you just grew.
No?
So again, there are pros and cons. Now, for real estate investors, maybe private money lenders, fix and flippers who are trying to get other people's money, and I always say the only thing better than other people's money is other people's retirement accounts, because a lot of these people, you may have a friend that just left their job, and the first thing you're going to ask him is, all right,
You just put this into a Roth and pay taxes on it again?
no, the first thing you ask him is, I'm really sorry about your job, man. I hate to hear
Oh,
that. Don't be a
okay.
savage,
I had to be
okay?
okay.
Be kind. Then the next thing you ask him is, what are you doing with that old 401k?
Okay. All right, Daniel, I'll be not so savage.
So once you figure out, hey, what's going on with that old 401k? I know this guy, Daniel, who can set you up with an IRA, and you see all this money I'm making on these fix and flips and all these projects, you can invest in my deals. And
Yeah.
now you have that form of income coming in to help you with your real estate projects. So very beneficial to know both of these. Oh, I didn't, contribution limits are kind of important.
Yeah, that's
Uh, You can
okay.
only contribute $7,500 per year if you're under the age of 50. And if you're above the age of 50, you can do $8,600.
And again, this is
Okay.
personal.
And this is the personal
Right.
ones. And this also, I get a lot of questions on this as well. This also doesn't cover, hey, but I'm going to roll over $750,000. I have a really big retirement account. I'm going to roll over 750. Does that, I am only allowed to do 7,500? No. You can roll over and transfer however much you want. If you have $1 billion in an IRA, you can move it to another IRA.
Right.
But you can
Just
only
can't put like
contribute
money out of your accounts,
out of your out of
your
your back
personal
pocket.
bank accounts. Yeah.
Yes, out of your back pocket is only 7,500 or 8,600.
Got it.
Now, this is for the self-employed people. So this is the one where I have a really hard time. Yeah, there you go. Self-employed people. This is the one where I have a hard time giving pros and cons. You have SEPs and solo 401ks. All right. SEP IRAs, I have clients call me up all the time and they're like, my tax advisor has me set up a SEP. That's what I do all my contributions to. Great. I always say take your tax advisor's advice. That's what you're paying for. You're not paying me to do your taxes. Don't. I wouldn't
Right.
recommend it. But if you're self-employed and you have zero employees, you should be looking at a solo 401k. Yeah, not advice. I'll explain. A SEP IRA and a solo 401k, you can contribute similarly. You can contribute up to $72,000 if you're
Wow.
under the age of 50. So a lot of money. Accountants really like SEPs because these are traditional funds. And what does traditional mean?
Traditional.
Pre-tax.
Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Pre-tax.
Pre-tax, pre-tax, pre-tax.
So you can write this off.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
So you put the money in, you can write it off. That's why accountants really love it. Okay. And you can do up to 72,000. However, there's a caveat. You can only do 25% of your adjusted gross income. So
Okay.
I'll give you an easy example.
Sure.
$100,000. 25% of that is 25,000. So if you have a SEP, you can put $25,000 into your SEP IRA. If you made $100,000
Is
for the
that
year.
net or gross?
So it's your adjusted gross income.
Yeah.
Yes. No more tax questions. I
Well, I don't know.
know. No. And it's your modified adjusted gross income. Don't ask me the details on it, but
We'll put a disclosure
ask your
at the
CPA.
bottom.
Yeah, ask your CPA.
Ask your CPA.
But with the SEP, you can only get $25,000 in, which is a lot. That's a lot, and
Yeah,
you can
that's a
write it
good
off.
amount.
But if once you turn 59 and a half, now you have required minimum distributions and you have to pay taxes, right? Because these are traditional funds going in. You got them as a tax write-off. All
Uh,
right. Now let's look at a solo 401k. These are for people who have zero employees, self-employed, zero employees. The only two rules you have to follow. Under a solo 401k, you can contribute to a traditional account or a Roth account. Okay.
yep.
Now, if you want to write things off, if you want to have tax deductions, contribute to the traditional. That's pre-tax dollars. If you want to contribute to a Roth and do that thing where you turn 5,000 into a million and pay no taxes on anything, you can do that inside of this as well.
Okay.
Okay, so you can do both. Now, cumulative, you can only contribute $72,000 if you're under the age of 50. Okay. So if you want to do even, it would be 36,000 into a traditional, 36,000 into a Roth. Does that make sense?
Yep.
You're my gauge, okay? Since I don't have an audience, I have to go
No,
off
you
of
need,
you.
this is what I want. This is like exactly what I want. Keep doing this.
Yeah,
Talk,
perfect.
like,
So
teach me.
yeah, so the 36,000 in each, that's if you want to do it. You could break it up into any way you want. You could put all 72,000 into a traditional or a Roth, but I'm just letting you know you can do both accounts.
Why would you
Okay.
do both? I mean, what would be just because you
Some
want to pay
people,
taxes?
yeah, some people want to do a little bit to write off. Some people, like
Oh,
doing the
you can't
traditional
write off
route.
the solo
You can, well,
401k.
you can't write off the Roth contributions.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, right? Because those are post-tax dollars.
Yep.
So that's why some people do both. Other people just do it all into a Roth. Because the one thing that I didn't go over is when you do a contribution into a Roth, there actually are income limits. I believe it's $162,000 for single and like
We'll
260. I
we'll find
actually
that.
forgot. Yeah, for joint filings. But there are income limits. In a solo 401k, there are none. If
Oh,
you make $1 million a year, you can put $72,000
200.
right into a Roth.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So that's just one benefit. Okay. So you have traditional and Roth contributions you can make. There's another benefit here. You can contribute as an employee and as an employer. If you notice over here, you can only contribute as an employer. It's 25% of your income.
Right.
Here, you can contribute $24,500 as an employee.
Okay.
Just that alone. Okay. So if you only made, and let's be real, there are some people who are self-employed and they say, I only made $36,000 this year, and they made way more, right?
Yeah.
But
Well,
if they said that, they can contribute $24,500 just right in there. Boom. No percentage, no nothing. Okay. The rest of the 72,000 they can contribute as the employer. So let's use the example of 100K. Okay. It gets a little, gotta think here. We're doing the
give you a
100K again.
whiteboard.
So 20 in the SEP, you can do 25% of your $100,000 salary, right? Which is 25,000. That's what you can put into a SEP.
Okay.
In the solo 401k, if you made $100,000, you can do 24,500 as the employee and then 25% of your $100,000 salary. So you can put in another 25,000.
Right?
So that gets you to a grand total of $49,500 off of that same $100,000 salary.
Interesting.
So you can get a lot more in and you can put it into a Roth.
I just think, I mean, this is my personal opinion. I mean, that with, I know it's a write-off, but for
Yeah.
investing purposes,
Mhm.
a Roth is just seems so more logical. I mean, why would you
Yeah.
want to pay taxes on what you created
So
and not?
there are reasons, and I definitely, that's tax stuff. I would definitely,
No,
seek
and
the
I'm just
advice on that one,
absolutely like this is just
but definitely, I mean,
the questions I get asked. These are
yeah,
questions I'm asking you. This is like
yeah,
people, my audience is like,
yep,
but what what these are just questions that I've gotten from my audience about this, so I just
yeah.
bring them to your attention.
And I don't want anybody to think that this is bad, even though I don't want anybody to think this is bad. Traditional is not bad. I think it's great. I always tell people
No, there's
a
nothing good,
million
bad, or
dollar,
good. It's
yeah,
different.
a million dollar traditional IRA is still better than no retirement account at a retirement age, right? It's
For
if
sure.
that's what you got and you don't want to pay the taxes on it right now, then don't do it. That's okay. Grow it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because we could
And it's
still
great.
help them invest in a
Yeah,
traditional.
exactly. That's
So,
exactly it.
I mean,
So,
you don't need to be a Roth to invest in real estate.
yeah, it's just if you have the opportunity, rip the band-aid off.
I don't want to get ahead of the, and you can tell me we'll talk about this later, but like
Yeah.
someone's purchasing a home
Hmm.
and they purchased a home for 200,000, and then this is
Hmm.
what we're saying, and then it ends up, in 5 years it goes to 1 million.
Huh?
You want to have paid the taxes on that 200,000, not at the
Exactly.
million. And I think that's one of the biggest benefits investing in real estate with your 401k, like with your 401k. Like
Yeah.
to me, that's just my opinion from the little knowledge that I have. So,
Yeah. And no, I mean that's it. I have a client who turned $70,000 into, I believe it's 7 million now. And he took his old corporate
oh
401k,
my God.
converted it. So you can actually convert your traditional account into a Roth account
Yeah.
by paying taxes now.
Yeah. I love
And
that.
he just paid taxes on the $70,000, converted it, and then he invested in all this real estate,
So
and now he owns, I think it's like 10 homes.
when he gets 59 and a half, he can,
The rental income is tax free.
yeah. Oh, I know. We could totally get into that later. That's like my,
Yeah.
okay,
But
keep
I
going.
always say, yeah, directed IRA, we're Church of Latter-day Roth.
I know.
Okay.
I get so excited.
We preach Roth all the time over here. Okay.
This is actually super interesting. And we don't talk about this enough. I don't think like just I did research on the health, the health savings. Wow.
Yes.
What I mean, I want to break it down for our audience, like,
Uh-huh.
because it can get very complicated in my
Hmm.
like, with the health and like, oh yeah, you could do this for your kid. And, da, da, da. And I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
So how can you,
Okay.
yeah, let's get into that.
Yeah. Okay. So this part, and again, ask questions on behalf of the audience and everything, and I hope to this spurs more conversations afterward.
Yeah.
But there are going to be parts where I'm not going to actually be able to answer because people will be like, what can I do, use for my health savings account? I'm always like, go to the IRS,
Well, and then
go on
also
stuff.
like we don't need to really dig into this deeply because for the next 7 weeks we are breaking
Yeah.
everything down,
Perfect.
everybody.
Yeah.
So right now I get super excited because I really, really have been like on board with this opportunity that has given to me to help people invest in real estate with their
Yeah.
401ks. This is just the introduction. So we don't
Yeah.
have to dig into a million
Cool.
questions.
Yeah.
We'll dig into
But
that.
I keep asking though. This is good because
Okay.
the health savings account, this one, I love this one so much. I'm doing it. I personally have one. I actually had one back when I was like 22 and I was like, I don't need this damn thing. But the company was paying
I
to have it.
know.
They were contributing to it. And like 10 years later, I had some small medical expense and I was like, I'll just empty this thing out. And now I'm like, damn it, I had a health savings account.
Ah.
Anyway, So this one, the only reason why it sucks for me is because I'm in a rock and a hard place. I know the health savings account portion, but I don't know the insurance portion. So what I
Right.
always tell people is make sure your insurance says that it's high deductible and it is HSA eligible. If it says that, get yourself a health savings account, okay? For self-employed people, this is just going into the insurance marketplace and selecting a high deductible HSA eligible account. For people at corporate America, some jobs don't offer these HOA or HOAs, HSAs. I wish nobody offered HOAs. Uh, some jobs don't offer HSAs. Don't confuse this with an HRA or an FSA. FSAs need to be rebranded to rigid savings accounts because they are not flexible in any way. Okay. And HRAs are just another beast. Okay.
Right.
HSA is what you want.
Okay.
All right. And again, high deductible health plan, HSA eligible. I like to look at these, and my investors do too, or my clients that do investing, as expense accounts. Okay. And the
Okay.
reason for this is if you open up an HSA, let's say in 2020, and you put, back then it was less, but let's just use these numbers, $4,400 into it. And by now, 2026, that HSA is $100,000 now. Okay. Because you've been investing and you've been growing. All of your medical bills that you accrued from 2020 all the way until now can actually be reimbursed. As long as you were just paying for it out of your back pocket, you can reimburse yourself using this. So I'm going to get
What do
into
you
a few
mean by
more
your back
details.
pocket? Like you didn't have
Yeah.
insurance?
Well, not that you didn't have insurance, that you were just weren't using your HSA to pay for things.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You
yeah,
were just
yeah. Okay.
using your own money. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we have one client who did this, saved up, I believe, 60 or 80,000. I can't remember the exact number, in receipts. They saved up 60 or 80,000 in receipts. And then they went to their CPA. They took a distribution out of their health savings account. They went to their CPA and they said, I took a distribution, $80,000. Here are my receipts to prove it. And they bought themselves a Cadillac. So they put $4,400 in, let's just say, and grew it to 80,000. And then when you put money into an HSA, you get to write it off. It's tax deferred. And when you take it out, it's tax free. So it's a traditional going in and a Roth going out. So he paid no taxes on the $60,000, $70,000 that he grew it. And he paid no tax on the 44 going in either.
Okay.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yes. So 44, he only put the 4,400 in there once?
Yeah, you can just make one contribution to any of these accounts, and then you can grow it to a gajillion dollars, right? As long as you're investing it correctly. Is that
Interesting.
good?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, you can write it off when you put it in, and it comes out tax free. So health savings accounts, these are how you pay for your
Yeah,
medical
we'll
expenses.
definitely get into this, you guys, like in the next series and break that down better. And because
And
I want to ask a lot of questions, but I don't want this to last 3 hours.
okay, all right. And one more thing, I pay for my lifetime gym membership with my HSA. So
Yay,
I
I can't
grow
wait, you guys. It's gonna be awesome. This is why you have to like watch every one of these series. I'm so excited. Keep going. Yay.
Okay.
Whoever gets excited
Coverdell
about
education.
self-direct IRAs. Eee.
All right, Coverdell Savings Education's account. Okay. So this one, a lot of people they get turned off when they see you. Oh, I can only do $2,000 into this. So this is a 529 basically on steroids, if you ask me. Because a 529, you put money in, and they just put it into whatever state and local investments that they want to put it in, and you hope that it grows as you keep putting money in.
You hope.
Well, for my real estate investors, specifically one client I have, he's a wholesale guy,
Okay.
and he was paying for his kids' private education. So at the time, I believe it was like $40,000 a year for his kid. Something like that. I don't know.
I saw this TikTok the other day. It was so funny. He goes, when did someone say it was okay to like charge college rates for pre-K 3?
Yeah, he was paying a lot of money, but he learned about the ESA and he was like, so let me get this straight. If I have an ESA where I put $2,000 in and I go and use that as an earnest money deposit for one of my wholesale flips, and I make $40,000. He averaged about that on his deals because he would do assignment fees, right?
Yep.
That's how you do wholesale
Yep.
deals.
Oh yeah.
And so he was like, if I do this in an ESA, I don't pay any tax on any of this. And we're like, yeah. And he goes, but when I do it outside of my ESA, I have to do two flips in order to get that $40,000 because I have to pay taxes on it. So he put $2,000 into his daughter's ESA, put the ESA down as the earnest money deposit. So it was the ESA's name as the contract holder. He did the flip, he did the assignment fee, and all the money he made, the 40,000 bucks, went back into his ESA tax free. So off of $2,000, he paid for his kid's education off of one flip, and he did that every year.
So you can only contribute 2,000 a year.
A year. With a child under the age of 18 as well.
So if you have multiple children, you could do it's like multiple children.
So you can do it multiple. You can put all of the ESAs onto one contract as well. Whatever percentage ownership they have of the contract, that's what they get back on profits. The other thing you can do is if you have one kid that's 18, you've already got something saved up for him. Open up the ESA for him, start putting it in, and then roll it over to the next youngest kid because you can transfer it amongst children.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna dig in this one. Let's move on because
Okay.
that one is
Uh,
insanely as a mom and all the above. So
and it's not just education either.
no, I
Internet,
get it.
iPads.
Yeah, no, we'll
Okay.
definitely like get into all that for sure.
So once you've decided what account you want to do, it's very simple to open these up, okay? Step one, find your custodian, hopefully one with a very funny, handsome, about 6 foot, brown hair,
Great hair.
glasses.
Pace Morby says, "You're the kid with great hair."
Yeah. So yeah, Pace gave me a shout out. That was pretty cool. So you open up your account, all right? You find somebody, you open up an account. Make sure, and listen, I want to earn everybody's business. That's my whole job is this. But if you don't choose me, all right, make sure that they're booking time to talk to you about these things that we're going over right now. You need to understand this stuff, okay? And that's what we do, right? We book time with you. We spend
I went
15,
with the
30 minutes.
best. Yep, I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're all educated over here too. It's not just somebody with a pulse talking to you. So we all train really hard for this stuff. So the next thing is funding the account. Now I'm giving you these steps in order for a reason. Do not be the person who's trying to save $50 by not opening up an account today because you're waiting for an investment. All right.
Okay.
Because the next step is very important. This is the contribution step. This is
Right.
money in your account.
Right.
Contributions and transfers, they can take about 5 to 7 business days. You're
Correct.
dealing with banks.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's business days, not all days.
Sure.
Okay? Rollovers, that's the
Yep.
people with old 401ks.
Right.
Those can take 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay. Good to know. Oh, you hear that, people?
These can take a while.
Yep.
The third and final step is to find your investment. Do not do this before this. Because my real estate investors call me up and they go, Daniel, I finally did it. I've ignored all of your emails for the last 3 months. I finally found a deal. And I go, great, when is it funding? And they go, 7 days. And I say, better luck next time.
Yeah. No, and honestly, that's so is I've actually heard Matt say that a lot.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
you guys work so hard. I mean, he's done and said stories about how like, this has happened and, they want to do it now. And, obviously no. I mean, it's not even not that you don't want, you can't. It's not that you wouldn't do it if you could. It's impossible. It's just, you're not
It's the
playing.
best.
Yeah. It's just, just give yourself 2 weeks. Come on, people. If you're interested in this at all right now, like you don't actually just get it started. Is that like a good way to get all the opening?
Just open up the account, make a contribution to it, however you do it, transfer, rollover, however, and then be prepared to have the
That's all I'm
next
saying.
amount going. Because you can do partials. You can do a partial transfer. You can do a partial rollover. You don't have to do the whole thing.
Right. So just get that process started as soon
I
as
have,
possible.
I'll give you one example. A lady in December, okay? In December, she was like, I'm ready to do this, Daniel. I just got to find a deal first.
Oh, God, no. That's like the worst thing to do. That's like number one investing. No. You don't find a deal first. You find the money first.
So she found her deal and put her money into it. And then she was like, Daniel, I need to open up this account now. I found another deal. And I was like, cool, when is it? 7 days. I said, it's too late, that you're not going to be able to get it. And she's like, all right, well, I need to get it open. So by December, in December was when she was talking to me about opening the account. By February, the beginning of February, she had already found two deals. And
Yeah.
she wasn't able to get her IRA into either one because she kept waiting. So now she has her account open, waiting for the next deal.
So don't let that
So
be
just
you.
yes, just know that you want to have these things open, okay? Now, let's start getting into the good stuff. This is what people really care about. How does this work? What account do I do? Why does it matter? Okay? This is what we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
Do you want to rip the Band-Aid off of that traditional IRA and turn it into a Roth? Do you want to do a solo 401k and do traditional and Roth contributions? Do you want to do a set? Do you want to do an HSA and partner it? Right? You can partner it with these accounts. How do you want to do this? But just know that the way that it works is your IRA, in this case, we're going to use a Roth as the example, owns the properties.
Yep. I know.
You do not own the property. And this is the one thing that I want to make clear because
Very
for the
clear, guys. You
advanced
don't own it. Your
the advanced real
IRA
estate
owns it.
people, they go like this, Daniel, I just can't wrap my head around it. And I say, stop putting your name on the contracts and start putting your IRA's name on there. And
Yeah.
as
And
soon
it's
as they
like,
understand that,
yeah, I
it's
mean,
done.
it's an LLC, right? Most of the time.
It can be. We'll get into
Yep.
that. So right now it's just your Roth owning it. And then the renters are renting the home and paying your Roth. Okay.
Yep.
In this case, if you're doing a Roth, you wait your 5 year seasoning period. I did forget to bring that up. Okay. You have a 5 year seasoning period. So if you're already retirement age and you open a Roth, you have to wait 5 years to get your profits. Okay. That's
Okay.
it. But if you're like me, I'm going to be 37 next month.
Okay.
Okay. I don't have to really worry about the 5 year seasoning period.
No.
I'm not going to be able to get to take the money out anyway until I'm
Until you're
59 and a
59
half.
and a half.
So it does at the 5 year seasoning period. Just understand that if you're already above the retirement age, you have to follow that rule.
But it's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, like, why would you want it out before then
You're
anyway?
not,
You want it to
yeah, you're trying to
grow.
grow it. Yeah, exactly. So, you're over the age of 59 and a half. And I mentioned this earlier, all of that rental income is now your income
Right.
tax free.
I know.
So if this property is cash flowing, let's just say $1,000 a month, that's $1,000 in your pocket tax free.
So you're going to be 37. So you've got, you know,
22 years.
of $1,000 a month is
Yeah.
what? 2.2 million?
That's a lot.
I doubt it.
It's
You go ahead.
22,000 times
I'm gonna do the
12.
math. I'm gonna do the math. So wait, it is 22 years
Yep,
times,
times 12.
I would say 1,200 or 12,000 a year.
Yep, 12,000. Yep.
All right, so it's 264,000. So
Yeah.
basically, and that's low because
Yeah.
then you only paid for what you paid the house for. So you bought the house for what? 100K. You paid
Yeah.
taxes on 100K, and you're coming out in 22 years with $264,000 minus the 100. So no, how does that work?
Wait, hold on. Well, let's not talk. We haven't even talked about 22 years worth of equity.
Oh, there's that
We
too.
haven't, we also haven't talked about that just because I'm
See?
59 and a half. I don't have to take that money out at 59 and a
There
half.
you go.
I can just leave it and just keep pulling the $1,000 out.
There you go.
So it's insane what you can do with these things. And again, you can partner your HSAs, your ESAs, your traditionals, and I'll get into that, where you can have more than one IRA account owning this property as well.
Oh yeah, because you're probably your value of your home will be like maybe like we'll just say from 100 to 1 million plus you
Yeah,
have income. Yeah, no, yeah. Okay.
exactly. And the rent's going to go up. When does rent
Yeah,
ever go down?
never. And it's only gonna get worse, to be honest. It's pretty sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't even get into all
I mean,
that. But
that's the
okay.
sidebar.
Yeah, let's talk about the important stuff, okay? Real life examples.
Yeah.
So every example that I'm about to give from here on out, they're actual clients of ours, okay?
Yes.
So the only thing that's changed is their name to protect the wealthy, all right? That's the only thing. So Denise, in this case, all right, rolled over her 401k to a traditional IRA. So she went from 401k to traditional. She didn't want to rip off the Band-Aid for her account. She didn't want to pay the tax on it. And she had this property. It was a nice little fourplex.
Nice.
Okay, so she converted it, she transferred it over, or I guess we're doing the Roth example. She didn't actually do that. Sometimes we change the example a little bit too. Um, so if she converts, she won't pay any taxes, but she just rolled over in a traditional. We'll actually get to this in a second. So she rolled it over, and then she found a property. Notice the steps. She rolled it over, she funded it, she found the property, and then she negotiated. So again, with my advanced real estate agents who just can't seem to wrap their heads around it, you're still going out and doing all of the same work. You're doing everything the same.
You hear that,
Just
agent?
don't put your name on it. That's
No.
it. This is what goes on at Directed Trust Company, FBO, in this case, Denise Roberts, at Roth IRA. She converted, all right? So once she negotiates, does all that, this is now the buyer who has money in the account, the purchase price of $375,000 with an earnest money deposit of 5K. So 380 basically. All right. Denise, because she's using her IRA, and the reason why I say her IRA is because we're going to talk about IRA LLCs a little later.
Yep.
But in this case, her IRA is through Directed Trust Company, and we are going to be doing all the signing and the documentation. And then we will custody the deed. We will hold the deed. Just
You do.
like your current 401ks hold stocks.
Correct.
We're going to hold the deed. Okay? You can see the deed shows the record as Directed Trust Company, FBO. FBO means for the benefit of, if anybody cares, Denise Roberts IRA. All expenses, all right, are paid through the IRA.
You hear that? All of them.
No prohibited transactions allowed here, okay? We'll get into prohibited transactions.
Yeah, it's a very important one.
So all of the IRA's expenses are paid, or all the home's expenses are paid through the IRA.
So do they like just submit like an invoice to?
In this case, she would be filling out a direction of investment form and
Sure.
submitting documents to us. Yes.
Okay.
We'll get into IRA LLCs for the people who are like, that's complicated. We'll get into that in a second. But $20,000 is sent directly from her IRA to help with the repairs.
Yep.
So a contractor is probably going to spit out some sort of estimate. She's going to send that over to us, fill out a direction of investment form, and we're going to cut the check to whoever the contractor is.
Right.
All rental income goes back to Directed Trust Company, FBO Denise Roberts.
You don't
The
own the
property for Denise right now is doing about $4,200 a month. So just in 24 months, she has an ROI of 10%, almost 11%. That's just after 2 years. So that's, by the way, beating the stock market.
Totally. And you
So,
own something.
and that's not even talking about,
I
that was just
know.
rental income.
I know. It's just so crazy how this is why, guys, this is why I'm bringing this to you. I mean, this is something I know a lot of folks don't know what I've been doing, and I know that my audience thinks I'm just with REI Baddies, but I have been like investing all my time in understanding this process and how powerful this process is. So bringing this to you has been not just something I decided to do yesterday. Like this is something I've been working on, and I'm so grateful for you, Daniel, for bringing this to all of us. So this is something serious. Like I want you guys to pay attention to this because when I heard this for the first time, it was only a year and a half ago, and I was blown away. So that was my
It's,
little tidbit. So sorry about that.
yeah, it's powerful because then you start getting into the equity, right? And if subtract and do everything, you now also in that 2 years time have $173,000 worth of equity as well. And again, rental prices don't go down. Property typically we gotta take into consideration 2007, 2008. Property typically doesn't go down.
I mean,
Right? So
listen,
you
like
have
we had the
all of this.
unicorn year too, right? So like
Yes.
2020
Yeah.
people were buying, especially like in my market in the Keys. And I mean,
Yep.
that's why I don't really invest in the Keys anymore. I'm outside the Keys. But people were buying high, low interest rates. So it
Yep.
was tough. It's a tough market right now. There's a lot of people, there's a lot more foreclosures. But if you, the good thing about this though, I mean, come on, Daniel, you can't exactly take it out. So you kind of
No,
ride the ride, like,
yeah, and you keep collecting your rent.
yeah, at the end of the day, like
Right?
maybe your equity will go up or down and you're, oh my gosh. But it's not something you stare at like all day long. You kind of have to let it ride its out. I mean, that's how I envision these types of situations. Like you don't,
That
am I right? Like you just have to ride
Yeah, so
the storm.
yeah, my example, because I'm just getting into real estate, I was big into crypto, and if I was really good at it, I wouldn't probably be talking to you right now. I'd probably be somewhere drinking it. I'd probably be in the Keys drinking a Mai
Yeah,
Tai.
I know, right?
But I was making tons of investments, moving money around a lot. I got up to, a couple 100,000, quite a few 100,000. And then I lost it all because I was doing really fast moves. And I've made not that much, but since I've been investing my little amount into crypto, or excuse me, not even
Into real
crypto, into the
estate.
stock market, I made more money on that over the last 5 years than I did in crypto because I never realized any gains in crypto. So I know it's a little off topic,
No,
but
it
it's
isn't though. It's just
you buy and
putting
hold.
perspective into like
Yeah.
how powerful this is and not just like it's just knowing how to get started, which is what we just went over, and then knowing that anyone can get started today with or without like a 401k. There's obviously contributions and this you can get set up today and you can start doing this today. But yeah, let's just keep going. I mean, this is just such powerful information, but like I said
Yeah.
earlier, I don't want to stay
Yeah,
on
and
dates.
it's also your retirement too. So remember now, like I said, Denise actually did this under a traditional IRA. We talk about the Roth conversion just to give you guys an example. But if she does, so this, if it's in a Roth, is tax free. If it's in a traditional account, it's
She pays
taxable,
tax
right?
when she gets it out.
Yeah. But let's say it's in a Roth. When she passes away, if she never touches this and just lives off of the rental income for the rest of her life, her kids now get it.
I know.
And that's really powerful too.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because I want to do that when we do this case study in the series because there's that, you know, I have my best friend and her husband are going through, the father
Mhm.
had passed and he had all this real estate and just the taxes. It's sad. What,
Mhm.
they're in Ireland and they're in Florida and it's just been like a nightmare for them. So we don't want to talk about death because it's something that we don't really like to think about, but it
But it
unfortunately
happens.
to all of us. So this is such a good thing, guys. So when we do talk about this, I'll definitely, make sure you guys log in and watch that. We'll get into this one better.
And you don't need a lot of money. Okay. And I talked about this already.
Yep.
I actually didn't see that it was I forgot that I had this as one of my examples. This is the gentleman that I was talking about who put $500
Yeah.
into the Coverdell Education Savings Account and is a
Oh, and he did
wholesaler.
the EMD. Yeah.
Yes.
I
And
know.
all he
Right.
was doing, yeah, was just putting the $500 down for the earnest money deposit as opposed to his own money that's taxable and making the same amount of money tax free.
Okay, so this is definitely something that I'm not 100% on, but we will definitely dig into this more too because
Yeah, that's
it,
fine. I'll go on to the next one. So, how about a Roth with 10K, all right, going into $297,000, but the Roth only has 10K, okay? I actually hate that slide, by the way. That's my boss's slide.
damn you,
So
bosses.
this this is the slide that I like because it's what that slide is precursoring. So $10,000 is all this guy's Roth has.
Okay.
This guy is a known real estate investor in his community. Somebody knocks on his door and is like, "Hey, I don't know what to do with my home." It's an older lady. She's a hoarder. And she's like, "I don't know what to do with my home. I haven't paid my taxes on it. Can you help me out with something?" So he knows he has an IRA with $10,000. Okay. He does a 2-year option. So remember, the same contracts you're building right now, your creative deals you're doing right now, you can do with an IRA. The only
Yeah, yeah,
difference
yeah,
that
yeah.
changes, it's not your name, it's your Roth's name, your IRA's
Right.
name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So he does a 2-year option contract to pick up this home for $10,000. Okay. So he pays the property taxes, right? And he
Yep.
picks it up for that amount of money. Okay.
Yep.
The expiration date was 2 years. He then goes, you know what? I'm just going to take this because I got the owner out. There's also a few more things on here. It was an older lady, so he helped her find a home with her family. I think it was in the Pacific Northwest.
Nice.
So he helped her find a home, and then he was like, you know what? I'm just going to take this over. It's just a waste of her time. I'm just going to take it over. So he exercises it. Okay. It's a hoarder home. He has $0 in his IRA. He cannot use any more money because his IRA owns it. So, being in the real estate business, he goes to his friend who has a construction company. Okay, this construction company builds homes. So he says, hey, I've got a home. It's actually zoned for 2 homes. So, what do you say? You knock this down, build it, and I give you 50% of all the profits. Now, a lot of people are like, that's crazy. Why would he give up so much ownership of it? Well,
Well, he
because
has
he
no
can't
other,
do
he
anything.
can't do anything with it.
He can't do
So he has
anything.
he's JVing with this person, so he has a partner. So you can bring
Partner.
in a partner to your
Yep. As
project,
long as they're not prohibited. So as long as they're not disqualified.
family or related in any way.
So who actually is the disqualified person? So I've
Right.
been talking about disqualified parties. I've been talking about prohibited transactions. This is the perfect sheet you need.
Oh,
Okay. This is
perfect.
a screenshot sheet. Yeah. So you cannot interact with your parents, your grandparents, yourself, your spouse, your children, your grandchildren, their spouses, obviously. Brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins. You can work with all of them, friends, all that. Now, what does that mean exactly, though? So these are the people you cannot transact with.
I mean, basically, they can't live in the house that you rent, if you're a rental property.
Yeah. So with this one, this is you self-dealing. You cannot interact with yourself. Okay.
Right.
You can't give yourself direct benefit. And don't try and be sneaky. Okay. Don't.
Yeah, don't do that.
But it's my son's LLC. How can they try? No, it's a
Like, you
direct
can't
benefit.
go buy your
Okay.
kid a college spot. Like, say you go to Florida State, you want to buy a
Exactly.
property, and then you want that property to have your son live in it, and then have all the other roommates. You can't do that. You can
Can't
still
do that.
buy the FSU property,
Yep.
but
And
you
that goes to
can't have
this.
anyone live there. And
That's exactly it. So you can't have anybody live there. So you have to look at it as brain versus brawn. Okay. So you're doing your investment. You can't have those people interact with it, right? And you also can't interact with it. So I always give the, really light example of if you have a leaky faucet, don't put duct tape
don't
on
fix your faucet.
it.
You
All right,
don't do
because
that.
that's prohibited.
You can't buy a business and have your daughter run it.
Exactly. Yep. So those are the types of things. Now, business is a little bit more of a complicated thing
I know.
because it brain is a lot of the business. So you can actually do quite a bit running a business and you can run a business out of your IRA.
Oh, I know.
Just
We're
we're
going
not
to
going
talk
to get
about
into
that.
that,
We are going to get
but
into that. That is on my list.
but yeah, it's pretty cool. But people will always say to me, "Well, if I can't work on it, why would I do it?" Well, you're not supposed to extend service, right? And then they go, well, but I'm making the investment better. Good point. Would you make my investment better for free?
Right.
No.
Right.
Therefore, you're
You don't
extending
own it really.
service for free.
The IRA, yeah. You're not
Yeah.
really on it. Your
So,
IRA owns it.
so
All right.
with this IRA, he splits it, right? So he owns it and then he goes into another contract. His IRA goes into another contract to go 50-50. Right? However the contract's drawn up, he just knows his IRA gets 50% of whatever sells,
So he
right?
put that $297,653 back into his Roth.
Exactly. So once they split this
And it's
595,000,
tax free.
yes, it all goes back into his account.
Is it tax free because he started with the 10,000 and the 10,000 that he started with, he put in and paid the taxes first. And then he
Yeah.
used that JV'd with someone, made almost $300,000 and doesn't have to pay tax on it ever?
Ever. because it's in a Roth.
I
If it was
know.
in a traditional, it would
I
be tax free. They'll
know.
pay it later.
Oh, you hear that, people? 10,000. Dude, who brought that to that's some creative financing right there.
Oh, I have a guy in Texas that did, I think he did 4,000 into
All
125,000.
right, we are you guys, this series is gonna rock. Daniel is gonna be on every single one of these, and we are going to rock your world in the next 8 weeks. So you buckle it up, Bubba. Buckle it up. All right, moving on.
So, last couple of slides here. So, I have a multi-member IRA LLC as the example if you wanted to do more than one. But this can just be a single as well.
Yeah.
So this is for a case, and this is what actually one of the owners of our company does. He has a whole tax strategy and stuff like that where he sits down with his family and has a board meeting and does all this stuff that they're going to be investing. But the reason why he can do that is because his kids have IRAs,
Yeah.
he and his wife have IRAs, and they are all in one LLC, a multi-member LLC. And they talk about what they're going to invest in. And the reason why this is important is because you can take your kids, you can literally open up a Roth. If you don't want to do an ESA and you want to do like a Roth,
Yeah.
you can do a Roth IRA for your kids as long as they have earned income. Okay. And you and your kids' account
But
can own an LLC.
you can like earn income. We can get
It's
into
not
that
hard.
later
Yeah,
because
it's not hard.
yeah, I know, and I know all this stuff, so I love it so much, and I have so many questions. So I want to keep going, but this is just like I said, it's gonna be such an amazing series. Keep going. All right.
So you can, and this is just one example of just using a kid, because a lot of people panic and they're like, well, their kid only has $7,000 in there. All right, well, you
We
have
just talked about ten
150.
thousand dollars becoming three hundred
Well, there's that
thousand
too.
dollars. You know, there's just so many things you
Yeah.
can't look at it like the money that you're putting in.
And that's one example. But I go, okay, well, you have a $200,000 account, right? And they go, yeah. And I go, put them together.
Oh, there you go.
Put them together. Now, I talked about disqualified parties and your kids being one of them. They are. You cannot transact with your kids or those disqualified people. So transact means,
Right.
Kate, you're my mom. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're my mom. You have a great deal that you found. You're already invested in it. And
Right.
you know that this deal is going to make you like $1 million, and you're like, Daniel, I want you to also make a bunch of money. Throw some money into this investment with me.
Okay.
I can't invest in it with my IRA because you're already in it. I would be transacting with you. I would be transacting in
Right.
that same investment. But if you found that same investment and you said, Dan, jump in with me on this. I think it's going to be really good. And we went in together and we each had a percentage ownership of that investment. You maybe 75, me 25. If
That
ever we wanted to put more money in, we would have to maintain that same percentage ownership.
okay.
That's the only rules.
Yeah.
So we can invest with each other
So you'll
alongside,
take
but we
those
cannot
two
transact.
IRAs and make them one LLC.
And if you do it that way, you don't even have to worry about percentages or anything like that because you each own a percentage of the LLC. Therefore, by the operation agreement, you can only invest that amount and receive that amount in return on
But
investment.
and I'm older, so when I turn 59 and a half, I can
Mhm.
start taking out and you have to stay in on the contribution.
That's a little bit more complicated, but no.
All right. Well, like I
Because
said, we'll get into all those kind of
okay.
questions later.
All right, it's a good one though. It's a little bit more detailed, but
Okay.
that's how it works. And
Okay.
the beautiful thing about the IRA LLC is you now don't have to call Directed Trust Company and say, "Hey, I would like to do an
Oh,
investment."
yeah.
Now you have checkbook control.
Yep. I
We
knew
can get
that.
into that later as
Oh,
well.
that's a good one.
Okay, so just a quick recap. Okay, IRAs can own anything except for two things: collectibles and life insurance contracts. You don't need a lot of money. Don't let that be the deciding factor, okay? Even billionaires have to start with zero in a retirement
Right.
account,
There's caps.
okay? You have to be aware of self-dealing, okay, and the prohibited transactions. Okay. And invest in what you know best. That's the biggest thing. Okay. And then open your account, fund it, get
And
it
that's why
moving.
you have Daniel.
And that's why you have me, and you can use Kate's promo code to get $50 off. You can scan this and you can book a call through her landing page as well.
Well, I hope you all had as much fun as I did. Um, this has just been such a exciting thing to bring to you guys. Thank you, Daniel, for taking this time to just
Yeah,
really
thank you.
break this down. And I'm really looking forward to the next 7 weeks. So it's basically every Friday it'll come out like we do our interviews. They'll just automatically come out every Friday at 6 a.m. And if you have any questions for either Daniel or I, if you put them in the comments, we'll get back to you, or you can email us. We're both very good on our email, and we can set up a call if you want to talk with me directly. And then obviously you can scan that to get started right away. Do not let this pass you by. If you have opportunities and you already have accounts and if you have questions that we haven't gone over, we probably will in the next 7 weeks, but don't wait that long. There's no need. This was the first, but doesn't mean you have to wait to every series. Call us. I mean, we're here for you guys, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of REI Baddies, the series buying real estate with your IRA. Until next week, thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Till next week, stay batty.